a question, and whatever I can think about while we're doing it, we can actually then I'll tell you guys. All right. So let's get started. So let me start with JavaScript questions. So JavaScript, where is that? All right. So as we decided, we will. So everybody, I just want to make sure everybody can see and hear me. See, everybody can see and hear me. Just give me a thumbs up. Everybody give me thumbs up. All right, cool. Whereas the camera's on, right? So this is and these are like really simple. I think it cannot get easier than that. Just if you cannot do this, then you are really not prepared for the interviews because this is really simple. Okay, and they're going to ask much more complex questions than this in their interviews, right? So let's just start with so this JavaScript. We have a data set here that is basically just an object, right? It's just simple, and there's just one object. One title is this. This is description. Nothing great about it. I think the only thing interesting in this we're going to use is this links. Okay, so you can. I think this is just a browser kind of. All right. So this is the only thing that's interesting here. Links, and then it has a URL and a title. And same thing, URL title. Got it? Everybody got it? Simple?
Yes. Sorry to interrupt, but someone told to increase the font in chat.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Sure. All right. Is it better? You know what? I think I don't.
Yes, better.
I think it's stupid. Yeah. So any you guys can see now. So it's nothing. It's a simple data set. It has links. That's one of the field is links, and it has some data with URL title. Okay. Let's just go to the question number 1. Okay. So the question 1 is, and I'm going to give you the control. You're going to take this data set and output all the links which has MDM in the title. Okay, and the output we need in this format: MDM this, and this is just a string. Okay, so basically, if you see the data set, you have. I'm going to make it a little smaller. If you look at the data set, these two, if you just do Control F, then I see MDM. So I see MDM in 2 places, right? So I want these two attached as a string, as output. Got it? So that's the question, and so I want. Let's see who. And you have you'll have to do it. So let Vedant. Why don't you start with this?
Yeah, so let me know if I have.
I'm going to give you the control. I don't know if I can give you the control of my computer. Is it possible? Remote control, accept all requests. All right. Vedant, why don't you start with this and actually do it here?
Okay.
Okay. I have the answers ready in case you have few minutes. If we're not going to waste too much time. If you're struggling, we're going to go to, I have the answers ready, which we can go to the next one. So see if you can actually do it. So you can start typing here.
Okay. Yeah, I'm able to control.
And let me just, okay, yeah. And the data set, so let me just give you some hint, your answers. So you can just, your links, the interesting part is already here. So you don't have to think much more. Right? So you got the links here from dataset.links. That's where you can start from there.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to admit someone. Can you go down and admit? I just get, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah. So I'm just checking. What I've understood from the question is like MDN web docs dataset. Wherever I get MDN, I need to get that title and attach it to the data attributes, right?
Right. So basically, so these two have MDN in them, right?
Right.
And so I want these two attached as a string, one string, like, like that. So you see, the
Oh,
output
okay.
should be this and comma this.
Okay. So this would be, so links basically gets what?
I'm sorry, I'll have one more thing. I just have to just see. Let me just get this. That's why I was like, people have to be on time otherwise. Okay.
Okay. So no, not able to type in anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So links is an array which has been returned by the dataset.links. So arrays dot each for each.
After this, it's your turn. If he's not able to do, you guys all need to think about how you're going to do it. So I can call anyone. So just kind of take a paper, see how you're going to do it. If we'll give some time, otherwise we're going to move on.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Dot title is dot contain.
I guess
I think what you might be looking is it includes? I think it's includes.
Yeah,
like,
that's
yeah.
Oh. It's MB and dot reduce. Join. Yeah, so something wrong with the syntax actually.
Yeah. Okay, just
Next.
yeah. So I think you're actually going right. You would have actually cracked it, but just so that I don't suggest people who just joined a little bit later, like to this couple of guys. I just want to go over this question again, so you have a good idea. So basically, we have a data set here. It's just an object, and in that object we have this links array. And what we're trying to do is, what I want as output is, anywhere we have MDM in the title, I want to grab that title, and as output, I want it in a string format. For example, this is the output I want. It's a string with these two records which are MDM in there. I want it. So that's the objective. Now, I guess Vedant tried. Vedant. So let Sahas, you're next.
Am I doing the same question?
Was that same question? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? I think let's just let's not. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this one for you. So you're going a right path actually. Just okay. So you are actually doing right. It's a filtered. We're just gonna filter it, and we're gonna just return the title, and then we'll just map the title, and then we'll just join it, and we're just gonna. So I'm gonna actually run this. Okay, so we got this as output. Okay. All right. So Sahas, your next question is same thing.
Cool.
Take the output and sort by first letter, ascending A to Z. Okay. So you see, we got the output here, but Z is coming first, and this record M is coming second. I want it alphabetical. If it's M, then it should be before Z. If it's A or whatever it is. So that's your challenge. So so I'm going to let you do this. It's not going to be too different. So you can just copy this. We're going to just uncomment. I'm just going to comment this. And then maybe you want to just use that and then see if you can make any modifications. Go ahead. Sas?
Yeah, let me see if I can control. I don't think I can control your screen.
Let me know if you cannot control the computer.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
I'm just going to paste it for you so you can actually start from there. Oops.
Yeah, sure. I'm still trying to think, like it's not apparent to me how I'm going to start this question.
Okay. So basically it's, we're already getting this, right? All we need to do somewhere is sorting because we're already getting the result we want. We just need to sort it, right? So you need to figure out like where you can insert that sort and everything. Remember, all these things yes, you can chain these, right? Like you were mapping, joining, you can actually chain the sort also. So it should not be that hard. So guys, all these things, these are very common. You don't, although it's open book or anywhere we will go for interview, it's kind of open book or whatever it is, but these are things you need to know like that. These if you don't know this, because there are harder things you need to spend time on. This is not the time. These are not the things you should be spending time on. This should be in your there. All right.
Would that work?
So I think I did the same thing, same mistake you did. It actually, I'm just going to give you the answer here. There is no need to do AB. Actually, if you just do sort, it actually does it.
Okay.
But but I think you're right. So you can do it this way also, right? A, comma B. If I asked you to sort in any other way, you were probably right. But right now we're just doing alphabetical. So this actually gets the job done.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see if let's run to see if it actually does the job. So you see, M actually came before Z, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So now I want. So this is done. So third question is. Third question, I want Rajwal, why don't you try that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is, so here here we're hard coding, like we're hard coding to search for MDM, which is very bad practice, right? In production, we never ever do that, right? So we never do this. So we will always pass in that value onto search, right? So I want you to modify this to make it a function which will does do the exactly same thing, except that it is not hard coding MDM. It's actually take it as an argument and return you the result of that function.
Oh, okay, sure. Got it. Yeah. I'm trying to remove control. Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah. Yeah. So let's return thanks.
Prajit, just give me 1 second. I think there are a couple of people trying to join. Let me just let them in.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, I think they're gone. All right, forget about it. Like this. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just copy and paste this. Cut, paste.
You want to paste that?
Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I think this is it, right? Is there any other requirement?
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
pretty much. So
run this.
can you show me the output? Can we run it?
To return that.
Search MDM. So I think this is got it.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Okay. So terminal. Yeah.
Oh, it's not returning.
Yeah.
Wait, console log or something. Oh wait.
Yeah, you can return it from links.filter. The whole thing you can return from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do it like this, right?
No, you can take off the filtered equal to.
Yeah.
Now we should put console log.
Yeah, you'll have to still do console log here. You know, this is the fact about life that no matter how senior you get as an engineer, you will still forget to return. Like I've been doing this for 5-6 years. Me and all our engineers, we still forget to return, like to hit that return. I don't know why, and you will see when you will get my words in future that you always forget to hit type return. Anyways, let's start. Let's run it.
All right.
Yeah, just hit the up arrow and enter.
Yeah, looks like it worked.
Awesome. Now, okay, the next question I want. Let me see. Try to figure out. I'm actually only able to see first 5, so I need to see show small active video, hide thumbnail on small active. Okay. Okay, for the next question, I want Alvaro. You want to give it a shot?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the last question in JavaScript is, if I do guide here, okay, I am. I think I closed. So I think I closed that. All right, so I'll have to go back.
I guess you can open a new terminal from VS Code. I don't know if you're used to that.
Yeah, I just prefer this Git bash. It's a little bit more stable. This causes its. I can use the inbuilt terminal. So let me show you some like a cool trick that I learned, and you will need it in future. If you see here, if I go control this, you will get a terminal. So you can run from here also. And the thing is, you can actually add a terminal. For example, if you are running your program, I can actually keep running the program here on this terminal. And if you want to check in the code, you will be checking code with the GitHub or anywhere, or just comparing to see or merge the code to see, you can actually run that on the second window. So the program will keep running on the first, and the second one you can do the check-in and all that. So you don't actually stop the programs that way. Just a cool trick learned over the time. So and one thing I would recommend you guys, if you're going to, you will have to give the tests to pass this. You need to, whatever visual code, you need to know all the shortcuts. For example, like moving this line, you need to be able to do this from the keyboard. If I want to move this down quickly, or I want to do just paste here, so you have to paste this line, or just get rid of this quickly. So you don't have that kind of time when you're actually doing so. Whatever you're comfortable, Visual Code Studio or whatever, just get the keywords, especially you will hit this one a lot, copying that top line and then just modifying that. So that one, and then you can move the line up and down. Those are few keyword shortcuts. I would say you should do it, you should have it handy. So first of all, you look, when you're entering, you look like you're a pro. And second, it helps you with the time, and it's worth investing few hours to get to know at least that 10-15 major ones, and then all right. So I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna go back to okay, so I think this was so the last question is, who did I call before for the challenge? I forgot.
It was me, I guess.
Okay, so in this one, actually we can do this one also. Q1 said it's gonna run continuously, node more. So we got that. Okay. So here, what I want is, if you see, if I hit here guide, I'm not getting any result. Although you will see in the data set there is a guide here, right? So I want you to fix this for me. When I hit guide, I want to see the result for, I have guide here. So I need to see the guide. So that's your challenge.
Okay. I guess my internet is unstable.
Okay. Internet is not supporting you. All right, Naveen?
Yeah.
Naveen, you want to try?
Yeah, sure. So I need to make the includes to be case insensitive.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the reason it's not working is JavaScript is a case sensitive language, right? So
Yeah.
we're typing guide with G lowercase, but the actual word is G uppercase, which is completely different than in JavaScript. So that's
I'm not able to access
okay.
the.
Stop share, remote control, abort control.
Yeah, looks like I was controlling. Sorry.
Share. So I'm going to start the share again, and then remote control. I'm going to let accept all. Okay, now try it again.
Have you shared it with me or like Alvaro?
I'm sorry.
Did you share it with me or Alvaro? I'm not able.
It's everyone. So it's like anybody can. It's auto. It actually auto accepts the request.
No, I'm not able to.
So
You're not able
you
to.
want to go to view options on top of your screen where it says we're viewing Sachin's screen, and then select request remote control.
Waiting for okay. Okay, now there you go.
Yeah, now I'm able to see it. Yeah. So can I go?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just need to change here.
Just give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
There might be, there is another, but I would say there is easier way than doing it in the regex way. Anybody else can guess what it is?
To lowercase.
Ignore case.
We can boot title to lowercase.
Lowercase. Yep. Yep.
Or ignore case or something.
Can we do ignore case?
Ignore. JavaScript there is. I don't know if there is ignore case. Most likely, what we have done so far is we do actually lowercase. So we have. So try. Okay. So try that. So basically, I'm gonna just let this. Okay.
But what if the keyword is contains a capital letter? Then we need to then it will not work, right?
Yeah, that's the catch. You have to do both. You have to make the keyword also lowercase.
Two lowercase. So that's why I thought the other way. Like I would use regex to ignore.
Yep. Actually, that also works.
Ignore the search on case.
Yeah. Actually, typically I would say, yeah, that would also work. We just so
this also should be converted to lowercase. Otherwise,
this also should be converted.
Yeah.
Let's try that. Actually, see if it actually works. Now I'm invoking this function before I have declared it here, but I'm calling it here Do you think it's going to work?
Yeah, this will work because
Yes.
in JavaScript, hoisting happens for functions. So that will work.
Can somebody mute it who's not speaking? Anybody? Cool. Just speak, just turn on mute and and then speak and then turn it back on. So, okay, yeah, I think that's right. But do you think it would have worked if I had this?
No, so that's the difference between function expression and the normal functions. So this would be considered like a normal JavaScript variable. So in this case, the hoisting doesn't happen.
Right. So this question they're going to ask you for sure. So you need to really, they'll always ask this question. This is one of those questions that refuses to go away. So, okay, so let's try. All right, so let's try it. Let's see what you say is correct.
Okay.
And we're going to invoke it with guide. So we should. Okay. Oh. Okay, MDM guide. Okay, so it's working. Great, guys. That was good. So we are right now done with CSS and JavaScript. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. So next one is CSS. Let's see how do you guys do with CSS. Where is that? Where is CSS? Oh. All right, so let's start with, and I am gonna go call there. Naveen, you just answered, right?
Yeah.
So actually, I am trying to figure out how do I know who else is in the meeting, so I can show video grid. I want to see all the participants, video on or not. Okay, you know what? I think I'll go this way. Show participants 50. Okay. All right. So let's start with Vivek. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Vivek. Why don't you answer these questions for CSS? Start. Okay.
Okay.
So here you see we are in like JS pedal, and this is your HTML. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is your CSS, and this is, you can put JavaScript, but I have just put the questions here. So it's really not used. If you see, everything is commented out. So it's pretty straightforward. Is thus whatever you see here, HTML is showing up here in the browser. That's the preview, right? So anytime you do any change, you just have to hit run, and it should show up, right? So if I put run, then it should do that here, right? So your first question is so I put actually I think I gave this answer away. So anyways, the question, okay, I think I gave this away, but this was my initial one.
Oh, okay.
Right, but okay. So the first thing was why I'm not font showing, because I think we put this class here is class, and so class cannot be, you have to do it this way. All right, no worries. You got enough questions. So next question is, so you can start with these two questions. Why use span here? You see, I use span. Why do you think you use span?
Span. I think it's, is it because it's inline element?
So, yeah. So guys, you need to know these elements pretty well. Like these are very common ones. Like and there are not much. If you see HTML, there are like I would say 10. So you need to really know these like span, div, p, list item. These are like only like 10 big ones that you will use over and over again. If you don't know this, then it will be like a problem because they're immediately you're disqualified pretty much because they are very basic. So yeah, span is who else? Tarek, you want to answer that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So in CSS, we have inline elements and block elements. So span is used as inline element. So in this case, when we have something beside it, it will align beside it. That's why we use spans.
So basically, when we do this, span is like when we don't want to change any, so any other element will actually change some settings of the page. When you use span, nothing can change. It will only affect that element. It's not gonna, so it is used when we really don't want to affect any other part of our Java screen. So that's why we have span.
Can I add something to
Sure.
it? So like we use a span when sometimes you use a span when you want to highlight that particular text. So for example, if you are using span with something in your paragraph and you want that particular element to have some different text than the usual one in your paragraph, then you put it in the span tag, something like that.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Sachin, I have one question here. Like the span elements will have a default break at the end of the element, right? But here it appears that it also has a break. Span element here which goes with title as a break.
Yeah. So I think I'm 100% not sure, but I think title does not add a break. Let's find out. If I add title here, okay. So here, copy. So what do you think should happen here? So it does not add a break. So it went in the.
But somehow it adds break to the final title, right?
Final title, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not able to understand that.
So it does so it does probably add a little break, but it doesn't add like but span we typically use if we like for example here.
Yeah.
If I have to just modify this sleep, I want, and this next question. So I want okay, so next thing is why use header? Like I put header here. And this is a very important question these days, so I just want to point it out. I use header. And so I want, let's see, participants. Tariq, you want to try it?
Okay. So header is HTML5. It's like the semantic HTML. So when we use header, we get one advantage is SEO part, and second, it's like it helps us with making semantic HTML better. But we can replace it with div, and it will do the same function, but it will not be better as semantic HTML.
Yeah. So is absolutely right. So you guys also need to brush up on semantic. So why use semantic HTML? It's helpful for one second. So when you use semantic, it's much helpful for the readers, screen readers. So and I have in these days what happened is like there's accessibility is pretty big. Accessibility is. So basically what happened was so Domino's got sued that a blind person cannot order, or a differently abled person cannot actually order pizza through Domino's. So Domino's got sued, and that guy won the case. So after that, TD Ameritrade, where actually I was working, also got sued that it is not accessible to everyone. So and the guy won the case again. So there's a huge push in the industry towards accessibility. So they want all the everything to be accessible by screen readers, and so read about accessibility a little bit. Like, you might be asked and you have to answer those questions, otherwise. So accessibility is big these days. So that's the background of. Okay, so next question is, what are roles here? Like, I put this role. Anybody knows what is this? I'm gonna actually. Sam, you want to try? Sam, you there? Please mute. Okay. All right. Pooja, you want to try that? Pooja, you there? You guys can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Pooja, can you hear me? No? All right.
She seemed to have issues previously, she was saying in chat, so probably that's why.
All right. All right. Don't worry. Dharti, want to try?
For role, right?
Yeah. What are the roles? So there's a role here.
I'm not sure, but
sure.
Is it?
I think it's, yeah. I'll let you skip this question because it's a little difficult one. It's the same. It goes back to.
Is it like assigning permission kind of stuff like that?
So I want you guys to read this area accessibility. So there's something called area.
I think it's a AY11 feature.
It's basically, I'm not sure what it is, but it's called area. Is very popular. Like, it's a standard for accessible rich inner application, and it goes back to the last point I've made for accessibility. Accessibility is huge in the industry. Every website, every application you're going to work on needs to be accessible. You need to make sure it's accessible to screen readers. So how blind people will read. Blind people, you cannot see the screen. So what they do is the screen reader actually goes back and reads all the elements, and then it reads that blind person. Okay, it says it's a tab. So it's a tab. So blind person can actually, he knows it's a tab. So you can, or he knows it's a button. So you have to put a role in there. So there's a standard you need to follow, like how to make it accessible to the screen readers, to the differently abled person.
So is it like a description to a particular element, like what that element is trying to say?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, because the only thing they have access to is the DOM. They cannot see what's on the screen. So they have access to the DOM, right? So they need to know, for example, and I want you guys to read this. If you tell this, your interview will be very impressed. You told about this thing. So make sure you read about this accessible areas. So how do you actually make the website, it's a role, you add roles, you add different things to this. This is all access, role, you add array value now. So all these things, so without actually doing anything, so the screen reader would pick it up and actually show it to different people. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, so next one.
Sachin, how this is different from the semantic markup that we discussed previously, like the header?
So semantic, yeah. again, good question. You guys have to read it. Both are important. Semantic is basically a big thing. It's like it shows you, they have fixed, like it shows header, footer. So your screen reader knows header, screen reader knows it's a footer. It's like, it is, I would say it's at the macro level, but area is at every element you have to add area things, like every element should be defined. So,
Okay.
but that's a good question. So you have to read it up, like, but they both are used, like for the same purpose, to make sure the web is accessible to everyone, not just people like us who are totally fine. It should be accessible to everyone. Okay. So our next question is, I'm going to call the new Rishabh.
Yeah.
You see this link here?
Yeah. Yeah.
If I open it up, it actually opens in the same window.
Mm-hmm.
And if I open this, I have to go back. Okay, so I want you to open this in the new window.
Yeah, sure. You can add an attribute called blank. Target is equal to blank. So that would tell the browser to load this page in a new tab.
Perfect.
So, but the problem with that is like this blank. Now, if you open this page in another page, if that page is having some different code, some code to run on different server, it would run a malicious code on your server. You have other attributes as well. You can set as you can use a source set attribute, where you say that don't run any code from other domains on my website.
Cool, perfect. But I think it will be helpful if you're going like outside. So, anyways, great.
Yeah.
Answer.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just one thing I want guys to understand. This CSS positions, they always ask this position. I never was able to figure out. So you have this CSS positions. So read about this, because they always ask. I can never figure out what the hell is the difference between. I was able to figure out a lot of topics. This topic just gets me, every time. So I want you to like this. There are 5 different positions, and this is actually used in a lot of production applications. So the way we set up our like website is set up, this is heavily used. Like you will have, like I worked on this CNBC. So this is, you see the red thing on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So there'll be a break. So right now there's no breaking news, but this whole thing can pop down for a breaking news. So that magic is done by this position. So you'll go, like if you see in the morning, there'll be breaking news in the red on the top. Okay, so and the whole thing pops down. So that's all positioning. So it's a very critical topic, as in it's going to use a lot of that. Like if you're moving down, what's going to happen? You see this, only this part is moving right now, right? And then suddenly when you hit a line, then it actually the entire thing moves. This all positioning. So other than so again, very important topic. Go through it very well. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So I want to make this thing red. I want to make only this sleeve red, which is already red. So I'm going to make this yellow, just so that. So this is an easy question. Who wants to take this question? I will give it to. I think Pooja is still not here, right? Pooja, are you still here, or can you hear me? No? All right, so we'll give it to Ingrid. You want to try that?
Hello. So which one? Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So yeah, so you see here, there is this sleeve here, right?
Yes.
And so what? This sleeve, I want you, only the sleeve should become red and bold.
Oh, so I would add a class and just for the sleep word. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell me what you're gonna? I think you can control the computer. You can try that.
Unfortunately I am from my phone, so I don't think I can do that.
So you're saying you can add a class? I'm gonna just
in line 6 after span. Yeah, I would add a class there and call it, I don't know, red or something. A red class, yeah. Okay. And then just say color red.
Okay, perfect. All right, that's
okay,
great. Okay, and one more thing which is very important. If I have asked you to make the second title red, so there's two things. One more very important topic that is heavily used again is CSS selectors, and these are also the thing that really gets, like. So you need to know the selectors reference, not like, you don't need to mug it up, but you need to know a little bit better, right? You need to know how you're going to target that element, because a lot of time you'll be working on a list. The lists, like for example, if I just go to CNBC again, because it's a public thing, I can actually. For example, if you have, like I was to work on, so I worked on this. See, if I have this multiple authors, like there are 5 authors, I want to make the last author. So there will be a divider between them, for example, right? This author divider, second author divider, but the third author doesn't have a divider, right? Because he's the last guy. So you need to be able to select the last element and make sure it doesn't have that. So you have to know the selectors little bit, not pretty well, but you need to know it, because how to target that. For example, if I ask you to target this, so there are list items, right? So these are list items. I'm going to just copy, paste. So now you have. Now I want you to think that we're going to make this first one white, then you know how you have color, nice shades of color, right? First one, second is gray, then white, then gray, like that, right? So how would you do that? So I want you to kind of go through the, this pretty well from your side, okay? This is not that, it's hard to actually understand that, but I want you to know that. Okay, so next question, I want somebody to pick it up. So let's see. I want Ruben.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I want you to go. Next question is, when I hover on Wynisco, for example, I want it to change the color to like any color. Change it to your favorite color.
Yeah.
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So you can use either a class or a selector in order to target that particular element. Mm-hmm. So in this case, I think it's li. So maybe you can write .li and then use the colon object to give it an action like hover. So you can so you can write colon hover on hover, and then you can specify the style that you want the particular element to have when the user is hovering on top of it. So you can add color equal to maybe blue or yeah.
That's it. Let's try.
Yeah, thank you.
This is not going to target the element. Instead, it targets the class.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to take out the period.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the period is not required.
So this is a pseudo selector, right? So can anybody suggest how would we do this?
What actually?
I think so. You should add 2 colons.
Was that?
It's a pseudo selector, that's right, but it's not before and after. So I think so.
Actually, there should be only one colon, but if you
You
use
should have a
a,
space.
yeah, no,
No,
just
it's
need
yeah,
a
correct.
colon over.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. She is right. All right, so yeah, so I guess these are pseudo selectors. Again, just go through the pseudo selectors. There's, I think hover is one of the important ones, and these you just go through that, because you will be asked that, you will be asked that first child, hover, focus, especially if you're for example, if you just go to Google, for example, it's, you're getting a focus here element. This element is already focused for you, right? So so the focus is pretty important, especially when you're filling up the forms, things like that. The focus should move automatically. So so these things will help you with styling that. Okay. All right. So okay, so if I'm going to add here, +1. If I make this red, which color is going to take that? Which color is going to take? Okay, so I'm going to make this red. So, all right. Archit? Archit, are you there? No. All right. All right. It's not there. So no, we'll go back to see who. Shubham, you want to try that?
Yeah. So second one will work because it goes line by line and it will override the first one.
I'm sorry, was that?
The second, the color red will be applied because it is coming after the color yellow. So first yellow will be executed, then red will be executed, and it will override the yellow. So it goes line by line.
All right. Okay. Now the last question, and this is a open question. Whoever. Okay. So if I want to keep the same configuration here, but I want to make this yellow, how will I do it?
You can have exclamation mark important.
All right. So again, this is one of the things you will see a lot. So when you go in production, you will see this important everywhere, because again, just as a best practice, important should not be used at all, ever. Only when you are messed up the code so much that you cannot figure out, because it should be, then you should use important, because otherwise it's very hard to troubleshoot. Once you start putting important everywhere, it's very hard to troubleshoot why it's some color is, it gets very complex and weird. So try avoiding, avoid important. If you need red, you just put red here, and if you don't need red, then you create a new class, make sure it, so, but do not do important. But you'll see in production a lot of important code. Okay, so that's all right. So that's yeah. Go ahead.
A small question here. Like you said, I understand that having important, it really makes things complicated for the developer to understand which styles are overwriting. Right. But does it have any problem on the browser end as well? Like browser will start repainting or anything like that, or will it cause any performance issues on the rendering end?
We haven't seen that. I have worked in like 5 companies, and everybody used important, like, because somebody started it. Now you cannot override that. So, but we never had that. Like, at least that much that we actually noticed the performance issue. Not really. So.
Okay.
All right. So we're done with this, and the last part we're gonna go is what is that? That is our React part. Okay, so for React, I have a small app that is running. So, and you will see it's here, right? So let's start with the first question. So basically right now there is nothing else, right? It is simple. There's the index page with the app. It's a create React app. You have app, and app just renders company, which is here. And this is the company. So there's nothing complex about it, right? So the first question is, I want Sas, why don't you try this? So right now, when I click on this button, it actually increments it to 1, whatever, right? So I wanted to create a button that when you click that button, the timer should go to 0.
Yeah, I can give it a shot. I've never used React, but let's try it.
And I just so that let me just making it a little bit. Otherwise, it'll be
Can you send the link of the sandbox?
Sure.
In chat.
Everybody's tense. I think it's not as fun as we thought. Take it easy, guys. It's just fun.
Can I suggest something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sahas, do you want to collaborate on this one?
Oh, I'm just trying to paste.
Okay.
Oops, sorry. My guess is like you'd create the same line as 19, and then on click would be set timer to 0.
Okay, let me just type it for you. Just tell me you want to go to reset. Okay. What else you want?
And then the set timer would be just to 0.
0.
Oh, for the other one.
I think it's gonna work.
This won't work.
Why?
Because in React you need to use set state to change the value of any variable.
Yeah, this will work.
Hooks.
This is
This
hooks.
will work. This is using hooks.
Yeah,
this is using hooks. Yeah.
This will work. Yeah, this will work.
Yeah.
This will work fine. Okay, so that's pretty simple as such. So now I want. All right, who else did not? Who did I did not call at all? Vivek, I think Vivek, did you ever respond?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so okay, I think I want you to go next and actually move next one. Move the logic. So right now we're passing the logic here. Right, you see the logic. I just want to make sure that if somebody doesn't know hook, then he's not. But this is not a hook thing. I think this is pretty React standard. But I want to move the logic of this thing. For example, the timer where we keep the value of this to its parent component. I don't want to keep it here. I want to keep it from where it's rendered in the app component. So I want, and the functionality should be as it is.
Okay. Oh, I'm not 100% sure, but I think we need to pass the timer from app.js when we are including the company component in there.
Okay. Anybody else wants to give it a shot? Who thinks they can do?
Yeah, I can do this if you want.
Okay.
Let me open the tab once again.
You can. You have the control of the computer, so you can actually just do it.
Yes, Yeah, it was just loading. 1 second.
Oh, okay, so
Okay, so what we need is we want to move the state, like we want to give the state management to the app component, and we have to pass all the data as props to this component.
Yeah.
And then that would mean that I need to first remove the state from here.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for this, by the way. I have not done this, so even I need to figure out how we're going to do it. So we'll figure out together.
Okay, yeah, sure. So I remove the state from there. Now I will pass. I'll have my state here. And
Actually, we cannot see. Are you doing on your screen or?
Yeah, I'm writing the code on Sandbox.
Okay, Sandbox.
It's working, right? Yeah. Okay. So then, but I think so. You have you say it's class app here, but where are you rendering the component?
You can show your screen, see how, so we'll see what you're doing, because we don't know what you're doing.
Okay, so it has forked for me. Okay, 1 second. Let me share the screen. You've disabled screen sharing.
Oh, this is screen share. One multiple. Okay, try it now. Oh, no, actually, what? 1 second, sorry. I think it's some stupid who can share all participants? All participants. Okay. All right, there you go.
Okay. So yeah. So what we need to do is we want to move the states. We want to move the state, that is for sure. And
Right.
then you have export default company. Okay. So this company can take the state from here, like it can say timer value, and it can take set timer. And okay. And then when we have two buttons here, I can tell this, I can call this as increment, and I can call this as reset. On reset, on click, it should go to a reset timer action, like reset timer. And then we can pass reset timer here as prop as well, reset timer. And then on increment, I'm setting timer plus 1. So I should have functions called, I should pass props to this component. But what I'm seeing here is you have export default app, and then I need to import that here first. Import, there might be better ways to do this, but right now I'm thinking this is the best way. Yep. Import company. Once I import company, then I can render company here. Return app, and then I can get rid of this all. I think so it's not needed here for a moment. Then I can have company, and then I can move this. Where was that?
I think you the import
company.js. Yeah.
Yep.
I should move this state here.
The company, I think import company as, I think that's the, because this is import company from company.
Line number 3.
Yeah.
Line number 3.
Yeah, line number 3.
You have to import it as a function component.
Oh yes.
Import.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Company from company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need the braces because that's
it's not a named not a named exporter.
Yeah.
So you have timer, and then you have function called handle increment takes
Rishabh, instead of as a separate function, you can directly call set timer with 0 and is timer +1, right? Why do you want to have it as a?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, here you can say set timer.
You can just pass the reference.
You just have to pass the reference.
No, it can just pass a reference and use that from the other component.
Set timer. Timer +1.
No.
Receive the timer.
Okay.
Can this be done much better way than this?
Yeah. So instead of set timer and reset timer from here, you can just pass set timer function to the other component, and you can do all this logic on the other one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I can pass. I can pass the function as so that's what I'm doing. I'm passing this function here instead of setting this. I can just say this as set timer 1.
Right?
Sorry.
You're not calling set timer. You're actually doing increment on a set timer function on the reference that you pass to the other component.
You can just pass it from here, and then you can do all this on the other one.
Set timer. Pass the function as it is.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
correct.
okay. Yeah.
Maybe you don't need the reset timer.
You don't need that. You can use set timer itself to do the reset timer thing.
Okay, I'm passing timer. I'm passing set timer, but
Actually, you didn't import.
You have to.
React is not imported. One second.
No, use state is not imported.
Yeah, you can do that.
Or you can do that too.
Then in company.js, we have these functions here. So here on click, I can say set timer to 0. And then here I can say set timer to timer +1.
Yeah.
And then you just need to remove reset timer from the.
Yeah.
As a prop, yeah.
Good.
All right, cool guys, very good, very good. I think okay. So last challenge for the day is if you actually you can share the screen or so you see can you scroll up? Can you scroll up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the data. So what I want is like when you display 0 on the screen, I want to see this I am 0, please make me hero kind. And if the timer increases to 1, then I want like to show I am 1, don't make me alone. And that I came up with like, so who wants to try this?
Can I try this?
I'm sorry, who was just who was running it right now?
I was running it.
Rishabh?
Yes.
Okay. I think you're pretty good. I would say somebody who actually wants to practice, I'll let them run it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to try?
Can I try? I haven't actually done anything till now.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe, okay, so you won't have that code. I guess you can, Rishabh, can you probably need to share that.
Yeah, I can disable screening.
Yeah, with her, and then she can start from there, and then she can share her screen.
Okay, 1 second. Oh.
Sachin, the third question can be done with the old code itself, right? So we don't.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, either ways, we can. Yeah, either ways.
I've shared the link on chat.
All right. Why don't you share your screen?
Who wants to try this?
I want to try, but In which code should I work now?
Yeah, I've sent you the link on the chat.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Okay, and sorry, how do I share the screen?
Can you stop sharing, Rishabh, and then?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah.
Okay, so you should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So the question is, when you see timer with that number, display corresponding screen. Okay. Okay. So I just have to. Okay. That reset button is not needed, right?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Reset button is not needed now.
Not needed. Yeah, we don't have to. Yes.
But even this button is not displaying now.
No, because I think so. You should run your sandbox again.
Okay.
You need to refresh on the right hand side. Yeah, on the right hand side.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I have this problem left and right.
Take it easy. Just relax. It's okay.
It's also showing older code in mine.
Yeah. Nobody's giving here, so it's okay.
What is happening?
Yeah, I
It's
guess
actually running the code that is on the left.
You can use the same code. I mean, there's nothing.
yeah, you can use this one.
No, actually, I think it creates like a new sandbox. Like when you create the code. So yeah, I know what. Don't worry about it. Just you can use the same thing. You can start from here because we're not doing that timer thing. So you can do this.
No.
But the button is not displayed.
Yeah.
Maybe save the code and then run.
The code that is on the left. So that's what's the problem.
Oh, yeah, I see the point. Okay. Got it. Why is it not doing it?
Yeah, because sandbox is the.
Okay. Let me give you my URL to see if it actually.
It should be react.useState, I think, if it's not imported.
No, in this code it is imported.
Okay.
Let me try this link. I just put a link in chat. See if this one actually. No, it's the same. No, it's the same thing.
1 second.
I don't know how it works because when you open the link, it should be the same link, right?
It should be. Oh my god, it is not letting me call.
Oh.
It says start editing something happen. Can you edit something and just click save?
Yeah, I was about to do that. 1 second.
Anjana, why don't you control my computer and do it? If it doesn't work, let's just.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll let you. So I think it should have.
Did save help you?
No, it didn't. I don't know what is happening. Data assigned value. Okay, that is a problem. Okay, can I stop sharing the screen?
Yeah, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
And just get on. Let me start the share, and then. Okay, you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so try to control it. See if we can control it.
No.
Control, remote control, auto.
I have requested.
Okay, got it. You should be able to now.
Yeah. So the question is, I have to add this data. Okay. And view it here, right?
Right. Anywhere, it doesn't matter. Anywhere you want to put that.
Okay. I can add a function. Okay, I can add a function on click and check the timer value.
Okay.
And print this paragraph accordingly.
Okay.
Will that be a good idea, or?
Try it out. Let's see.
So. Okay. So handle click. And this handle click will check the timer value. Equals 0. Then I'll add another state. Use state. Okay, it'll be this first, right?
Yeah, you can put that as default.
Just a suggestion, can you do data.screen or something like that?
Sorry?
Can you do like use the
variable
data? So
data. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that. So set screen of here data dot
I think
but then
so.
I think data subscript 0 because you're trying to access the first element.
Yeah. So what on line 11, can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
If you don't mind. So on line 11, you're actually creating another value, like you're putting another variable for React to manage, like state.
Okay.
So what it does is every time you change the value of screen, it will re-render your component.
Okay.
So, but here you can see that this data is already pre-populated for you, and like he suggested, you just want to show the value there instead of actually creating a new state and managing that and managing that state. You can make use of this data here, and you can access the data on line 25.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah, there's no, we just have to correspond. If the timer is 0, then you show this because it's already pre-populated for you. You don't have to create another state.
Okay. So
yeah.
Okay.
Timer, right? We have timer value already, right? So we don't need to create. And then it will be. So basically, whenever you do React, this very important concept we have is something called single source of truth, and this causes more issues than you would imagine. So And when you have very complex application, you have to make sure your because there will be so many components using that value. You have to make sure that one place, what we call single source of truth, should have, and then everybody should come and grab it from there. Because if you then start maintaining the values here, then it gets really complex. So that is where the situation here is like, we don't need that. Let's not do it. Let's just try to map. Means if you see the timer 0, then you just call, look at that value and then print it. So that's what I would suggest.
Okay. Okay.
One more thing I want to add here is like one more thing is here. You're calling functions like set timer and handle click on 2 lines, right? So
yeah,
that will cause an error.
Yeah. So in React, sometimes the changes to the state are made on bulk. In that case, the set timer function would not have been completed when you call the handle click. So yeah, that is again one more problem.
so what should I do here?
So
there, I like you suggested, like it depends on like what you want to do. If you want to have a new state, then having a handle click will not work. Like we suggested, if you don't want a new state, having a handle click is not needed actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just have to add a paragraph here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And
sorry, I did
value
something.
that is already populated.
Yeah.
So, he already has a paragraph there in the code.
Okay, I just did something and I have to. Okay, got it. 1 second. My Control Z is not working.
Okay, 1 second. So control.
You just need to delete that line 25. That's it. Oh, you have the
You have a different editor, so maybe close that editor, the second editor on the bottom.
Okay, can you try again?
Otherwise, can you reopen the file again?
Okay. Yeah, okay. So I'm using Mac and my Command Z is not working. Control Z is working.
Yeah.
Do you want to try right click or something? I think that might work.
Sorry?
Does right click work? It might work. Like I also had a similar problem earlier.
Okay. Okay.
Right clicking will work for me. Yeah.
So I just have to print timer and I guess I can use backticks too.
I want to show the timer also so that I know that what timer is. So I want to show the timer, and below the timer, I want to show the description. So I want both.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
So I just have to access data of timer dot screen.
Yeah.
Okay, it's this simple. Okay.
So what if? So Sachin, so there's a use case like the timer will not be in a particular order with 0, 1, 2. Can it be like jumbled?
Yes, I mean, right. For this situation it will work, but I think it's not a very. I mean,
it's a hack.
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I would have probably because it's like, remember, array is like, it's a ordered list, right? So it's gonna. But I would probably have done is like, if I see 0, then I would filter out 0, because I'm not sure if 0 is going to be in the 0 spot. It can be in the 3rd spot also, right? So I would have. Can you try that? Let's assume that if I have, just give me 1 second. If this was the case, would it still work?
No, it won't. So I just have to do data.filters.
Yep.
Wait. Dot filter.
Yep.
D
dot timer equal to
D dot timer equals timer.
Yep.
Yep.
Then dot. Oh,
Actually,
how do I do that?
Of 0.
Of 0.
0 dots.
Right. It's always going to return array. So
Array.
0 dot screen.
Dot screen.
Yeah.
Good.
Got it. Yeah.
So I would suggest one thing here, guys. Like instead of using,
you could do data, like you could write a function, you could pass that function for a find as a predicate to the find method.
right? We just use find here, then you don't have to do 0 here. So it would be
Okay.
it will actually be a little bit more cleaner.
Got it.
But that's good. That's pretty good. So yeah. So I think that's it for today. I hope you guys learned a lot. I just wanted to just do this for fun. Let me see my so let's just go through, like, if you have any questions, I'm like, let's spend 5 minutes. If you have any questions that I can answer that for you.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the 18th line, is it a better practice to do data.find outside the return statement, or is it okay if we just do it inside if it's a small code?
Right, like that?
Yeah, just the data.find part.
What difference would it make?
Yeah, no, I wanted to ask Sachin if it is better practice to do the find part outside return statement, or is it okay if we do it inside the return statement?
I guess it would be a better practice to separate all the logics into smaller functions. I guess I'm not sure. So in a bigger code, but this is a smaller one, so
yeah,
they did it like that. Is it right?
In real life, it's never going to be this simple. So you just won't be able to do this in a function. This data will come from back. So most likely, let's assume you're doing this. This data is going to come from back end. Then there will be some other data that's going to come from here, there. So this approach is not going to work. So you'll have like some, most likely some common functions that you will use somewhere that you have to, you will stick that, so, but yeah, a simple answer is no. This is not the right way. You have to do it outside, and then you have to kind of figure out if, if this is a reusable function, and you'll probably have some files there which we host the reusable functions. So any other, but if somebody else needs the same thing functionality, they can just go and look there instead of creating their own. Okay, that's it for now. So you guys have any questions? So I'll just give you a few of my tips, what I think, so if you, and I'm assuming that all of you are in the phase where you're actually active in interview, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So the first thing I would, if I were you, is just go through everything that's available online, such as interview questions for CSS, interview questions for JavaScript, interview questions for UI. Go through all the YouTube videos, all that, because that will get you that knowledge will at least get you first round clearance for sure. Like from managers or like the recruiters, you'll definitely be able to clear at least first round with that knowledge. And then you then comes the difficult part where you'll have a panel of people that will be interviewing you, right? So there you will, so you cannot bullshit. You have to know your unit. So what I did is like I actually prepared like obviously you guys are probably working lead code and doing algorithms and ON and what is it called, like ON, what is it called? I don't know.
Time
Time
complexity.
complexity.
Right, time and space complexity, right? So and there's formulas to it. So what I did is like there's a frequency counter pattern. So they're all the same. Once you spend enough time, I just wrote it down, and it is like you just have to go through it again and again and again. That's it. There's no magic to it. So like you do this, you put the shortcut, you do this second time, you do it third time. So but first thing you need to make sure that you go through all the questions that are available on the internet, because most of the questions they will ask in the first round will come from there. There will be hardly any question. They don't ask situational kind of questions in the first round. Typically it's going to be right. And then second, then you need to practice this, just practice this for the speed, because most companies will send you a hacker rank test that you need to crack. It's really hard. I find it very hard. I couldn't do it but you need a job, you need to be able to. So that there is no shortcuts to it. That's the unfortunate truth. But that's pretty much it, and just make a list of all the questions, do it over and over and over again. That's it. Say, I did this. I used to just do this and just read through before the interview, read through this. And if you remember that quick enough, then, you will just, so make that shit for you. So that's about it, guys. There's no magic. And practice and portfolio, because if you guys are in front, then you need something to show, right? They do look at, they don't never, if you put GitHub, nobody looks at it. Nobody has time to look at your GitHub. But if you put a portfolio, they'll definitely look at the portfolio, like, an app you made. So I would say like Netlify, Heroku, they give you free. Just deploy your app. If you're making a test app, deploy your app. So you can just share the URL. Somebody can click on the URL, look through that, your application, and the more complex application you make, the better it is. So instead of making 5 like simple, just list item, simple filter, make one little bit bigger, heavier, little complex application, right? With a little bit more functionality to it. So just make one. So that's what my suggestion would be, which okay, that's about it, guys. Anything else? Any questions before we say goodbye?
We do have.
Can you share this docs with us?
Yeah, I don't mind. But you will see. I'll share it, but honestly, you will need to. You will not understand what the hell I did, and let me make sure I didn't put anything, because it's like my own thing, and I just you will not understand.
I think each section headers will help me. Like I saw the sliding window once. So.
Oh yeah, actually, I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, this is also cheat sheet, right? If somebody is like taking your I just look at this quickly, and then little cheat sheet. So
yeah.
But again, as if you will not understand, I'll share it with you. You will not understand anything.
I have 2 questions. Can I go?
Sure.
So my first question was, what's the value of a front-end engineer that can design, like that can do the actual layout design? Is it valuable in market? Like how's that looked upon?
Yeah, there's definitely a value, but honestly, if most of the things I saw is either you become a UX guy. If you have an eye for design, then you go full time into UX. If you have like eye for, if you don't have that eye for UX, it's good, but it's really, you need to be either UI guy or UX guy. There is like, not much hybrid thing, you know, honestly. It's,
I meant like, so some people do the web development, right? They go to the designers, or the designers give them the layouts, and then they develop the websites. So I was wondering if, I guess the designer and the web developer, if that's one guy, is there more value to it?
It's more valuable if you go to a smaller agency, if you get a job in smaller agency, which don't have that kind of manpower, it's much valuable. But if you go to larger corporation, they have very,
they have their design.
They're UX guys. There are like 2 UX guys in a team. If there's one or 2 UX guys, 1 or 2 or 3 UI guys in a team. So the skills, it helps, but it's like there are 2 different skill sets, right? So.
And then, yep. And then second question is, I'm sorry, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you have the time in the end, would you be open to critiquing my website?
Sure.
Like once everyone's questions are done, I don't want to keep anyone.
Yeah. Share your website in the chat, and maybe we can all critique it together, because I'm not a very good critic. So everything I said is excellent. So let's critique it together. If anybody else has a question?
I have a question. So I've started preparing for my React interviews, and I don't find many websites to practice on. You know, we have LeetCode to practice algorithms, but is there any website or something to actually get some questions on React and work on it?
You might want to try Pramp.
Which one? Pramp? Oh,
Yeah,
that
like
mock interview?
Like now Pramp has React like front end question.
PRAMP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been doing this for quite some time now, and it is really, really good.
Honestly, for React, you really need to just build it. The best way to do is like build a, like, when actually this is my thing. I worked on several, like, I just, like, this is my back end, this is my front end. I just, you just start making these, and then you will, like, for example, this, I was making this. So, just start making these applications by yourself, and try to make it, take one small thing, like small, and try to basically, like, for example, think about a problem that you want to solve and develop the application for it. There's no, that will help you more, and try to make it a full stack application, because then you will have a full, like, especially like GraphQL. So make a front end, then, and everything is free these days, right? Like Netlify, Heroku, they all have free tiers. So you just go to, you make a front end, you make a back end, and you make a database, and try to make the entire application, so you'll understand the holistic picture, but then, so that's my
Got it. Thank you.
Do you plan to do this workshop again?
We'll see how it goes. Definitely, I will come up with something. But if you have any questions, you can always email me. So let's see.
Good. Thanks.
All right, guys. One last. So let's see what. Let's look at Sahas's, and if you guys all have anything. She says you said you are the one, right? You with UX, you have some good eye for UX.
I love mixing design and computer science, like coding and designing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's value in the market. There's not many people because it's 2 different skill sets. Like, I cannot do UX. UX, you have to be. So how it works in all the companies I have worked so far in, like, last 4 or 5 years, I think I'll tell you how it's like. We have a team, and each team will the one which is very publicly available. That's why I'm just telling you. I go back to CNBC. I work for TD Ameritrade. So we have teams. Just to give you a little bit of how the corporate big thing works, right? So this CNBC. We have 2-3 different products. Like we have CNBC. So there is a separate team for web. So everything that you see here, there will be React guys for this. So this is a web team. Okay. Then there is video team. Like there's a video team who handles the videos. If you see the videos, right? So there's a video team to handle the videos. Then you have something called ads and analytics team. There's ads and analytics teams. You see the advertisements, which advertisement are going to show at what time and how long, all that goes to a platform. See, it changed just now. So there's the ads and analytics team who takes care of that, right? So going back to your question, if the team, we had a UX guy whose whole aim was to come up with, like management will decide, okay, and like if you see, it keeps changing, right? If that management decides that like this one, I actually worked on this. See these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Earlier there was no numbers, and so there's a team that is behind it whose job is to do what you call A/B testing, and we split some traffic, and we said, okay, let's try to put a number, see if it gets more engagement from users, more click-through ratio, right? And it did. So they went back to the designer. So the UX guy, your job is to make this look beautiful, right? So we get the design 1, 2, 3, 4. So you say, okay, so and now then you will throw 3, 4 design. You might want to put one in this corner, one in that corner, middle, whatever it is. So going back to your answer is, we have a UX guy that puts his design in. There are many softwares that we use, and it actually, the best part about the new softwares is it actually, when you design it, it actually gives you CSS with it. So when we actually make it, we just have to copy the CSS. We don't have to use our brains. Like for example, if you make the design here, that one, I don't have to think what's the height of it, what's the, all that thing is already done for me, right? So yeah, so that's your portfolio is pretty good. I would say anybody else wants to comment, but I think it's pretty good work. Where is your work samples? Like you say you're good with UX. Do you have any UX design?
That's the thing. Like I love doing it, and I only work on like say websites when I'm actually deploying them. So for example, this whole website was designed by me. So it's kind of like my work example.
Okay.
There's also like other examples. Like I've worked on electric vehicles and skateboards and stuff. It's included in the work section.
Include everything. Whatever you do, just include it, even if it's not the best, but like something is always better than nothing, So just include your work. Yeah. And people are too lazy. I'm telling you something. People are not, your manager is not even going to go to this tab. People are really lazy. So make it single page. Make it single page. They're going to scroll down. So you're going to say, okay, this is really nice. And then add other portfolio in the same page. Okay. So maybe say project where you worked on. So add it on the same page. Do not like try to put it in a different tab or anything. People are too lazy.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, guys. Any other?
I'd like to add some points here, and I like the font and how he has, chosen the font for beautiful and all. And I just want to see how it looks in a mobile view.
Yeah, if you press inspect and yeah.
So it looks very good.
Cool. You have a hamburger menu. Okay.
Hamburger responsive, very nice. Let's see if it's responsive. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, very good. So responsive is one of the things which is really big. You have to say responsive very in interviews many times. Responsive, responsive, responsive. And because it's big, right? Like think about this. Like, and that's why there are a lot many UI jobs. The reason is really hard. Like you will get frustrated. There are so many bugs, and like that's why actually it's really frustrating job sometimes. Because think about it. You need to make this work in like 2-3 minimum. You need to make this in Chrome. You have to make the same thing work fine in 3 browsers. You have an Opera browser. You have a lot of the issues coming. Apple has a browser, Apple browser, and especially they have Mini, and it never works in Mini. So you have all these browsers here to do, and then you have also your different screen sizes, right? Like make it big, small, and browser. So it gets the complexity. It adds up. For the same page, you might have designed 5 times, right? You have to, so that's why it's really hard as such. And the harder it is, the more people you need. And the more people you need, the greater the demand and the better it is for you, right? So that's a good thing. The bad thing is once you get on the job, it's sometimes it gets like, it's a little challenging.
Sahis, sorry, I don't know how if I'm pronouncing your name correct or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what technologies did you use in your portfolio?
It's basic CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. Like I'm huge on just keeping it simple.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm making my portfolio right now, and I was thinking of using React just to learn.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like I wanted to learn HTML, CSS, and that's why I started with that. So I think that's a great idea to just do a project in something you want to learn.
Cool. Okay. And this looks great.
Thank you.
If you if I can add something, it's great that you have the interest in UX UI, but you need to understand the business requirements. I mean, you built your portfolio with the design you wanted, but most of the time, if you join a company, you need to know what they are looking to get out of you. So every time same design or just good design won't work. It should be according to the business requirement. So I would suggest you do some courses. Like there is a track on LinkedIn Learning. It's basically for UX UI. That's I think 20-25 hours in total, and you will get to understand all the how the UX UI workflow works in a typical company, so that you also understand the process behind all the things, while also like keeping your hold on the technologies. Because I have personally worked for 2 companies, and it's one thing to know building a good design, but you also need to keep in mind what design would work in given situation.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, one more thing I would suggest, I don't know if you know, but you have tools like Adobe.
Yeah, XD.
XD, yeah, XD. You have like Figma, you have Sketch.
Yeah.
You need to pick one of these, especially like if you want, most likely you get a job in the larger company, they probably use like these tools. You need to know that in and out, like how to design, how to, for different screen sizes.
I actually use those for mockups and then I translate them.
Okay, perfect. Cool, guys. All right, I will take off. Thanks for showing up.
Thank you very much, Sachin, for organizing this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. No worries.
Thank you. Looking forward for the next one, actually.
No worries.
Thank you. Yes.
It was very useful. And is there any way we can all, be in touch for learning React or JavaScript? That would be nice.
Why don't we do this before I end this? If anybody wants to be in a study group or something, who wants to meet regularly.
Sir, can you please create one WhatsApp group?
Yeah, WhatsApp group is fine. Why don't we create a group? Somebody take up this? Why don't you guys share your numbers in the chat? Okay. You know what? Once that's going to be hard. Let's just do it.
We can
Maybe we
also
can
use
make a group on Slack.
Discord or Slack. Yeah.
Let's just do Google Form. It's going to be much faster.
Okay.
Right. Title text.
Sir, one more. Sir, please, next time, please do recording if there is no recording of this session. Actually, I am from India and today I woke up late. So it's 6:30 around here.
Yeah, it's getting recorded. I'll send you guys the recording.
Okay.
Okay. You know what? Let me just question. No, I don't want multiple choice. Just a short answer.
I think Slack or maybe Discord will be good. I'm not sure.
Slack, actually, the Slack channel should be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's accessible by all around the world.
And also you can share code snippets also on Slack.
So let me do this, and let me do this for any people who are not joined. So if anybody else wants to, I'll start a Slack channel or something. I'll send you guys the link, and you guys call and join, and we can all work from there. Okay?
Yeah, and then maybe in Slack we can have different channel for different technology or something like that.
Yeah. I'll send you guys a Slack channel.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Sachin, I just had one small request. So do you have any suggestions or any approaches that I can take? I'm actually on OPT, and as you know about OPT, the time gets reduced. Time is very limited. So do you have any suggestions on what can I do for getting calls?
Let's talk tomorrow. Why don't you call me? Why don't you email me? Let's set up a time. Let's talk, because it's a long.
I think
Because best way is
I try.
Yeah, go ahead.
So best way to reach you?
Email.
I don't have your email address. I think so.
Can I email you too? I have a question, something similar as well.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that, or you can go to Wynisco. This is and
okay. Is it Sachin.rajgire@gmail.com? Okay, so from which I received your link. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you a shortcut here. You can schedule a call for me. Actually, this is for paid service referral, but for now, since I know you guys, you can just use this, and we can see what we can do. Okay.
Yeah, Wynisco.
That sounds great. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.